Now, experts say insurance claims from these fires could be in the tens of billions of dollars. We are joined live by insurance expert Karl Susman with tips that homeowners need to know. Welcome, Karl. This is a time when so many people need your help. Now, in terms of scope, do you anticipate the number of claims filed for these fires will be unprecedented?
Good afternoon. Yes, it already is, and I think we're still waiting to have claims come in. We're at what I'm looking at now at what 8% containment in the Palisades fire, and we're 3 days in. So yeah, we're already at a place where we've seen more total losses than we've ever seen in any type of a fire before, and the insurance industry is preparing to buckle down and start doing what they've been paid to do, pay those claims.
Of course, I think another good question here, Karl, is can you explain what this means for our insurance market? This in terms of A, the cost to insure, and B, our ability to find coverage.
Sure. I think what we're going to see, there are some regulations that just went into place in December, which seems like it was an eternity ago. It was just last month. And the new regulations are going to provide coverage where most insurance carriers might not have wanted to insure, and that includes areas like the Palisades. They're going to be required to write in these areas, and since all carriers will be required to do it, it should be able to give us some competition. So while I do expect we're going to see higher premiums in areas that are higher risk for fire, we're going to have competition there like we did not have in the past, and areas that are not in wildfire areas or areas that are potentially more likely to burn could see a lot of competition where we might be able to see the rates actually, I know, wait for it, go down from where they are today.
Wow, let's talk a little bit more about this because we know that State Farm recently canceled thousands of policies in the Palisades. So does that mean that we could have some of these homes uninsured or underinsured now?
What's interesting with State Farm is they non-renewed, are you ready? It was 1,626 policies in the Palisades in 90272. It was the area number 2 in the entire state for the most number of non-renewals that they made. Perhaps they had some modeling that told them this might be a bad area to have a lot of concentration in. People at that point, it was a little over a year ago, had to start looking for coverage elsewhere. A lot of them were able to get coverage with other companies. Some did go with the California Fair Plan Association, and that's the predominant area right now for losses that are coming in. It's from homes that are with the California Fair Plan. They're claiming they have a total exposure in the Palisades of about $5 billion. That's just fair plan. So if we assume that it's a complete loss, and it's horrible to even conceive of, but if that's the case, then we might be looking at about $5 billion that the fair plan will be on the line to pay for claims.
Well, speaking of the California Fair Plan, this is a question that I personally and people I know have. We all depend on this plan when we can't get insured typically by, companies out there. How will all these fires affect this plan?
It's a great question, and everybody's asking. You're right. The good news is, and it's nice to have some good news, is the California Fair Plan has many tiers of resources for their money. First, they have money in the bank. Then they have reinsurance. Then they have the ability to take out on some bonds if they need to. And then